Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Driving lo.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Driving lo, but you can see downtown. Downtown.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare. మీకు అనిపిస్తలే ప్రభుజీ? హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ హరే కృష్ణ హరే రామ హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ 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 హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే రామ హరే హరే. ప్రభుజీ మీకు కారు ఉందా అక్కడ?
డౌన్ టౌన్ డాలర్.
కార్ మీదేనా ప్రభుజీ? కార్ అది హరే కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే. ఎంత అవుతుంది ప్రభు? 9 అవుతుందా ఇప్పుడు? టైం 9 అవుతుంది. 9 o'clock అవుతుందా ప్రభు? 9 అవుతుందా టైం ప్రభుజీ? 9 అవుతుందా ప్రభు?
యా 9 PM 9:10 అట్లా 9:08.
కార్ తీసుకున్నారా ప్రభుజీ మీరు? కార్ తీసుకున్నారా?
ఇది జస్ట్ యూజింగ్ డివోటీస్ ది దే ఆర్ హెల్పింగ్ మీ. అంటే వాళ్ళ దాంట్లో బిజినెస్ యాడ్ చేసి ఉండే ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళ కార్లు 2 కార్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒక కార్ ఇప్పుడు ఏమైనా టెంపుల్ పూజారి చేసుకొని
ఓకే
డౌన్ టౌన్ అంత డౌన్ టౌన్.
హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే 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 హరే కృష్ణ 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 రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే హరే రామ రామ హరే హరే కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna. Say Hare Krishna to Prabhuji.
No.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Viraj Prabhu. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare in USA. Hare Krishna chant better. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare. Pronounce nicely better. Pronounce nicely, okay? Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare. Krishna, listen to your voice and some others calling to you. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare. Who is your guru? Who is your guru? Who is your guru? Your guru also.
No, your guru.
I am asking you your guru. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare. Hare Krishna Gaurav Prabhuji. How are you? Say Hare Krishna. Gaurav Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, how are you?
Say Adya.
Adya, how are you?
Prabhuji, when you will come?
I will come in a month. Just one more month.
Last 1 month you need to stay there.
Yes, I know. Rashmi Mataji is coming.
Only June.
Yes, I know. I'll be back by
In
July.
July you need to come to Hyderabad.
I'm not enjoying. Rashmi Mataji is
What
coming.
is Chinnu doing?
Chunnu, he's sleeping there.
Hare Krishna
Sleeping.
Yeah. What are you doing?
See chanting Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you didn't sleep still?
No, I have not slept. So it's night time there. See, it's night time. See, it's night time.
Are you asking you didn't sleep?
No. It's just 9:30 right now. I'm gonna be awake for another 1 hour. After that, I'll sleep.
Cancel.
Cancel? What are you canceling?
No, my father kept my background.
No. I no more. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare.
So how's everything going out, Prabhuji?
Okay, Prabhuji. Everything is good.
How was Rath Yatra?
As we are missing you a lot.
Even I'm missing everyone. Just 1 more month. I'll be back.
Come fast on my birthday.
When is your birthday?
At July 21st.
Oh my God, I'll miss it. But sure, don't worry. Rashmi and Shauri will be there.
Hare, you become more smart, Prabhuji. You are looking like a...
No, Prabhuji, not at all.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Where's Anshu?
Anshu, she's ready.
Getting ready.
She's going somewhere?
Hare Krishna.
Oh, you have a school, right?
Hare Krishna.
Rashmi auntie also slept.
No. She's talking to her mom.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna.
You said you will miss my birthday. Why you will also come with them? Hyderabad, right?
I cannot come because of my visa issue. Because I need to have deputation letter from my office in order to travel. And my deputation letter date is 31st July. So I can come only on 31st July.
Hare Krishna.
They're coming. Rashmi auntie is coming.
This month.
Yeah, they're coming. They're traveling in another 3 days.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Another 3 days.
Yes, they're traveling on 26th India US time. Yeah, they are traveling on 26th India time, and they will be.
Anshu came.
Hey, Anshu, where's your teeth? Oh my God, it's gone somewhere.
Her 2 days gone.
Oh my God, your all teeth are gone. Hey, show me your teeth. Eee.
She's looking funny, huh?
I know. Where's your teeth? Who took your teeth?
Nobody. Nobody
So did you donate your
kept
teeth?
in a safely place. Her 2 teeth.
And you are playing with Ashi or not?
Yeah.
So, okay, so your holidays are gone, right? You have started going to school?
What?
Have you
They're going
started going to school?
Yeah, they're going. Come, Mr. Beta.
Today's your school, right? Yes.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
you know what Ashi is saying? Whenever we go to Saturday with Sripati Prabhuji class, you know what Ashi is saying?
Yeah.
She's saying that if Gaurav Prabhuji we can play nicely with him.
Don't worry, I'll be back. Just 1 more month and we can play there.
Yeah, she said I'm missing you even.
Even I'm missing you guys. I want to play. Right now, I'm only playing with Shah. And in a month, I'll have so many
Shaurya
people to
will
play
do
with.
so many jokes.
I know.
Will Shaurya?
Shari is in another room.
He slept.
No, he has not slept. He's trying to sleep, but he hasn't slept yet.
Show once, Prabhuji. They wanted to see.
Shari, Rashmi. Adya wants to see Shari. I think she's talking to her mom. How's everything, Prabhuji? How's the work?
Work not like completely. We are just doing some like learning point of view, Prabhuji. Team building activities.
Oh, team building activities. So when the project will get started?
Yes.
So right now you don't have any project going on?
I mean, there are projects, but I didn't assign to any project now.
Oh, so you're mostly building the team and you're just having coordination.
Yeah.
So you're going to office every single day?
Yeah.
Every single day?
Everything. There is no work.
Mishra Prabhuji is going to office every single day, I guess.
Yes.
Yesterday, Mishra Prabhuji messaged me and I responded back, and after that, he did not respond back. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
So when he sent me a message, I was sleeping on that time. So when I woke up, I dropped him a message. He didn't respond back. So maybe he'll respond back pretty soon.
Yeah.
So Giraj Prabhuji is not coming joining, right? Because Giraj Prabhuji is he joining? Because
he joined and he left call.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
How are you?
Rashmi.
How are you all?
Everyone is good. Rashmi.
Had dinner?
Yeah, we had dinner. Usually we have dinner at around 6:30 or. Sirisha Mataji is on call. She's on video call. She wants to talk to you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, she's in another room. She's talking to her mom. She'll be here soon. So how's everything? It's like now you have a different place.
Good, Prabhuji. But
Yes,
after
Mataji.
summer vacation, I'm feeling bored in front of.
So Mataji, now you have a place for satsang. So every weekend you guys are going to satsang in that place only, right? Gachibowli satsang.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, center.
centers. So who is contributing to all these centers? It's like you have it at rent or somebody bought the place.
Rent, Prabhuji,
For
rent.
rent only, for devotees donations. It is
Oh, so
Hare
what's the monthly means how much monthly people have to pay?
Amma,
Yeah, monthly it depends, Prabhuji. It's not it's voluntarily.
Mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah, like 1,500, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000 also somebody giving.
Yeah, that's nice, Prabhuji. Even if it's if everyone is contributing 500 or 1,000, it's going to be sufficient enough. At the same time, you have one place wherein everyone can go and
Yes,
do the
yes,
same.
Prabhuji, yeah.
And
So
the
always-
center is beautiful.
So beautiful,
It's
Prabhuji.
I know. I've seen it. It was very beautiful. Rashmi, are you coming? Yeah, she's coming.
upstairs.
No, she's in different room.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, sleeping time, na?
Talking to my mom, Sirisha. Hello, Madhya. How are you, beta? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rashmi aunty telling Hare Krishna to you.
Hare Krishna, I thought you said to my mother.
Hare to your mother. How are you, beta? Going to school?
They're ready today, red color day. They're ready.
Oh,
Different dress.
they have a different dress.
Oh.
It's
So,
Friday
how
morning,
is
no?
Shaurya's school there?
George, here, no school, beta. When he'll come to India, then only he'll start go to school.
Started packing and everything, Rashmi.
I need to start, Sirisha, but still it is there. I don't even start. Thinking now, start, but it is very boring, Sirisha. Already, past 3-4 days, past 2 days, I just unpacked my bag. Then again, I need to pack it.
Okay.
Auntie, Shaurya slept.
No,
Will stay there without you all 1 month.
Once
yes.
you share,
Mataji, 1 month I can peacefully walk.
If Shaurya see na, definitely will cry. He wanted to come.
Yeah, he doesn't even know that he's going. We are just telling him every single day that you're going alone and daddy will be here for a month and you have to stay without daddy for 1 month. He started crying. No, I want to live with daddy. I want to stay with daddy.
Then you should ask, you want to go to India or Chicago? You want to stay in Chicago?
1 month will be very difficult for Gaurav.
Yeah. Yes, for you also, your means. Are you
Yeah.
okay? Prabhuji, little difficulty.
Yes. And I need to arrange each and
Mataji,
everything.
can Prabhuji stay alone there?
And better
Yeah.
we can go to after 3 months, get bored of him now. So he'll enjoying school, Rashmi.
Yeah.
That's
That's why I come to Sirisha.
Yeah, because of Shah's education only we were thinking to go there. And then if you go after 1 month, because yeah, see, his teeth is gone. Anshu, where's your teeth? Who
Two
took
teeth,
your teeth?
3 teeth are gone. Total open full.
Wobbly teeth.
Sirisha, our dinner is done. Your breakfast done?
Breakfast, just now I offered. Then I'll feed kids.
Their dinner here, breakfast.
Yeah, here night, 9:30.
Yesterday we spoke with the Punjab Bobby there. For them, it is morning. For them, night.
What?
Yesterday night we spoke with the Punjab Bobby. For them, yesterday it morning. For us, night yesterday.
Where they stay, Sirisha, in US?
Where they stay?
Near to California.
California.
Los Angeles. So timing for here and California is 4 hours apart.
Krishna.
So in US only, Sirisha, 4 time zone. When we go
Time zone.
to Vegas, na, 2 hours back there. Then when we go to Horseshoe Bend, Antelope, then 1 hour more ahead. Then California, 4 hours.
And then they have Pacific timing also. And then they have Alaska timing.
Prabhuji,
Sorry?
how was your trip?
My dad is
How much sin you bought from there?
What does he want to ask?
I'll give it
How much
to
are
you.
doing in Europe to 6?
It was like, what to do? I had to go there because my office conference was there, and I didn't have any choice.
Okay.
Yeah. So and usually these people they're like that only. They want to stay in a place wherein people can enjoy, people can gamble, and all those things. So office people, they really wanted to be there only.
Yeah.
And for them is really enjoyment. One of my partner, he was like, he did not have cash. So there you can only gamble with cash. So even if you have a card, you have to go to the ATM, get a cash, and then only you can gamble. That guy was so crazy. He couldn't get take out money from the ATM. So he called his friend. He said that I need some cash. So his friend gave him some cash, and he did jelly. So jelly is like GPay here.
Mataji, Shaurya can sleep alone.
No, madam, he's not sleeping. Wait,
Wait. He's getting sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
I'll do again video call. This is all devotees are joining.
I know.
Daddy.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Chanting time, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, you can call, video call.
Rashmi.
Daddy, how you?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shaurya,
Hare
hello.
Rama, Hare. They're calling video call, Prabhuji, from mobile. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Sorry,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare
We got
Krishna.
excited.
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Hare
Raju Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Raju Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna.
Sir, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu ji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you able to hear me, Prabhu?
What, Prabhuji? Sorry.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you in front of laptop, Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm connecting laptop, Prabhuji. 1 minute, Prabhuji.
Please connect laptop and take host. I'm in driving.
Yeah.
I'm connecting another 5 minutes. I just came from temple. I just
Yeah.
coming temple. In another 5 minutes, I will connect from laptop and then take over. Meanwhile,
Sure.
you come laptop, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Sarvabhauma Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I connected in laptop Prabhuji. Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Giresh Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Gaurav Prabhuji, can you make me host? Hare Krishna, Gaurav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can you make me host, Prabhuji? You are now host, no?
Okay, I'm the host. Let me.
You can make me host. Deepa Mataji, I mean, you're able to run call Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Otherwise, you can make Mataji host.
Okay, now the very question is how to make someone's host. I don't know, sorry.
Click on participants, Prabhu. When you see the participants, list of participants, look at my name on the right hand side, you will have 3 dots. You will have the option there.
Yes, sure, make host. Done.
రాజప్రభు ఎక్కడున్నామో తెలుసా నేను?
మాతాజీ చేరేసినట్టున్నాడు 10th వర్స్ అనుకుంటా. నేను ఐ చెక్ మాతాజీ ఫస్ట్.
నేను చెక్ చేస్తాను. నో ప్రాబ్లం, నేను చెక్ చేస్తాను.
ప్రభుజీ పంపించారు మాతాజీ.
I got it. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం అజ్ఞానతిమిరంధస్య జ్ఞానాంజనాశలాకయా చక్షురున్మిలితం యేన తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna, Madonna Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Can I make you the host, Prabhuji?
Yeah, ఒక 5 minutes తర్వాత చేయండి. నేను
Yeah, no problem. We'll start reading then, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Please. Thank you very much.
You message when you are ready, Prabhuji.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment, and being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. Who could fail to be attracted? Purport. According to Bhagavad Gita 10.9, the characteristics of pure devotees are wonderful. The complete functional activities of a pure devotee are always engaged in the service of the Lord, and thus the pure devotees exchange feelings of ecstasy between themselves and relish transcendental bliss. This transcendental bliss is experienced even in the stage of devotional service, sadhana avastha, if properly undertaken under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And in the mature stage, the developed transcendental feeling culminates in realization of the particular relationship with the Lord by which a living entity is originally constituted, up to the relationship of conjugal love with the Lord, which is estimated to be the highest transcendental bliss. Thus, Bhakti Yoga, being the only means of God realization, is called Kaivalya. Srila Jiva Goswami quotes the Vedic version, Eko Narayano Deva Paravaranam Parama Aste Kaivalya Samgita. In this connection and establishes that Narayana, the personality of Godhead, is known as Kaivalya, and the means which enables one to approach the Lord is called Kaivalya Pantha, or the only means of attainment of Godhead. This Kaivalya Pantha begins from Shravana, or hearing those topics that relate to the personality of Godhead, and the natural consequence of hearing such Harikatha is attainment of transcendental knowledge, which causes detachment from all mundane topics for which a devotee has no taste at all. For a devotee, all mundane activities, social and political, become unattractive. And in the mature state, such a devotee becomes uninterested even in his own body, and what to speak of bodily relatives. In such a state of affairs, one is not agitated by the waves of material modes. There are different modes of material nature and all mundane functions in which a common man is very much interested, or in which he takes part becomes unattractive for the devotee. This state of affairs is described herein as pratinivritta gunormi, and it is possible by Atma Prasada or complete self satisfaction without any material correction. The first class devotee of the Lord attains this stage by devotional service, but despite his loftiness for the Lord's satisfaction, he may play the voluntary part of a preacher of the Lord's glory and dovetail all into devotional service, even mundane interest, just to give the neophytes a chance to transform mundane interest into transcendental bliss. Srila Rupa Goswami has described this action of a pure devotee as nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. Even mundane activities dovetailed with service to the Lord are also calculated to be transcendental or approved Kaivalya affairs. Hare Krishna. Samyukta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Shaunaka said, the son of Vyasadeva, Srila Sukadev Goswami, was a highly learned sage and was able to describe things in a poetic manner. What did Maharaj Parikshit again inquire from him after hearing all that he had said? Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord automatically develops all godly qualities, and some of the prominent features of those qualities are as follows. He is kind, peaceful, truthful, equable, faultless, magnanimous, mild, clean, non-possessive, a well-wisher to all, satisfied, surrender to Krishna, without hankering, simple, fixed self-control, a balanced eater, sane, mannerly, prideless, grave, sympathetic, friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. Out of these 26 prominent features of a devotee, as described by Krishnadasa Kaviraja in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, the qualification of being poetic is especially mentioned here in relation to Sukadev Goswami. The presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam by his recitation is the highest poetic contribution. He was a self-realized learned sage. In other words, he was a poet among the sages. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji, are you in a position to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji. Just this one. No? Now suddenly Shaunaka Rishi has come. So where the story has come now?
Shaunaka, to sages of Naimisharanya.
Yeah, this is the present. Okay. What are these two people discussing about? The discussions between Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. Okay. Yes. And now we will go to the third one. Now this Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami will speak about the third personalities also. At the now it is third chapter. Na? By end of this canto, we will be going the third layer of the Bhagavata. Okay. So whenever Shaunaka comes, we should remember that now it is a present. And whenever Sukadeva Goswami Shukavacha, whenever that comes, then what happens? We have gone into the first layer and second layer, third layer. It will be like that. Okay. We have come to the first again. We have come to the present again. Oh, please go ahead.
Sandhya Mataji, unnara? Hare Krishna. Sirisha Mataji, can you read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Please read.
Krishna Mataji. Translation and purport by history.
కొంచెం వాల్యూమ్ తక్కువ ఉంది మాతాజీ, నాకేనా అందరికీనా?
అవును మాతాజీ.
మాతాజీ కొంచెం స్పీకర్ దగ్గర పెట్టుకోండి.
ఇప్పుడు మాతాజీ
ఫస్ట్ పారా చదవండి, నెక్స్ట్ పారా సంధ్యా మాతాజీ చదువుతారు. చదవండి.
Translation. O learned Sutta Goswami, please continue to explain such topics to us because we are all eager to hear. Besides that, topics which result in the discussion of the Lord Hari should certainly be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Purpose. As we have already quoted above from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami, even mundane things, if devoted in the service of the Lord Sri Krishna are accepted as transcendental. For example, the epics are the histories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are specifically recommended for the less intelligent classes, women, Sudras, and unworthy sons of the higher caste are also accepted as Vedic literature because they are something in connection with the activities of the Lord. Mahabharata is accepted as the fifth division of the Vedas after its first four divisions, namely Sama, Yajur, Rigveda, and Atharva Veda. The less intelligent do not accept Mahabharata as part of the Vedas, but great sages and authorities accept it as the fifth division of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita is also part of the Mahabharata, and it is full of the Lord's instruction for the less intelligent class of men. Some less intelligent men say that Bhagavad Gita is not meant for householders, but such foolish men forget that Bhagavad Gita was explained to Arjuna, Grihastha, family man, and spoken by the Lord in his rule as a Grihastha. So, Bhagavad Gita, although containing the high philosophy of the Vedic wisdom, is for the beginners in the transcendental science, and Srimad Bhagavatam is for graduates and postgraduates in the transcendental science. Therefore, literatures like Mahabharata, the Puranas, and similar other literatures which are full of the pastimes of the Lord are all transcendental literature, and they should be discussed with full confidence in the society of great devotees.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji, unnara?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, chadvandi.
The difficulty is that literatures, when discussed by professional men, appear to be mundane literature like histories or epics because there are so many historical facts and figures. It is said here, therefore, that such literatures should be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Unless they are discussed by devotees, such literatures cannot be relished by the higher class of men. So, the conclusion is that the Lord is not impersonal in the ultimate issue. He is the supreme person and he has his different activities. He is the leader of all living entities and he descends at his will and by his personal energy to reclaim the fallen souls. Thus, he plays exactly like the social, political, or religious leaders because such roles ultimately culminate in the discussion of topics of the Lords. All such preliminary topics are also transcendental. That is the way of spiritualizing the civic activities of human society. Men have inclination for studying history and many other mundane literatures, stories, fictions, dramas, magazines, newspapers, etc. So let them be dovetail with the transcendental service of the Lord, and all of them will turn to the topics released by all devotees. The propaganda that the Lord is impersonal, that he has no activity, and that he is a dumb stone without any name and form has encouraged people to become godless, faithless, demons, and the more they deviate from the transcendental activities of the Lord, the more they become accustomed to mundane activities that only clear their path to hell instead of return them home back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the history of the Pandavas with necessary politics and social activities, and its Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be the Paramahamsa Samhita, or the Vedic literature meant for the topmost transcendentalist, and it describes Param Jnanam, the highest transcendental knowledge. Pure devotees of the Lord are all Paramahamsas, and they are like the swans who know the art of sucking milk out of mixture of milk and water.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
What is a Paramahamsa Samhita, devotees?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Jyotsna Mataji, welcome. Are you in a position to read, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, now I am doing DT dressing, Mataji. Sorry, I will just hear your conversation.
Yeah, no problem, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji. Yeah.
No problem. Just checking.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Then we come to Lalitman Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Translation: Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of Pandavas, was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating the worship of family deity. Okay. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.41, it is stated that even a person who has failed in proper discharge of yoga practice is given a chance to take birth in the house of a devout Brahmanas or in the houses of rich men like Kshatriya kings or rich merchants. But Maharaj Parikshit was more than that because he had been a great devotee of the Lord since his previous birth. And as such, he took his birth in an imperial family of the Kurus, and especially that of the Pandavas. So, from the very beginning of his childhood, he had the chance to know intimately the devotional service of Lord Krishna in his own family. The Pandavas, all being the Pandavas, all being the devotees of the Lord, certainly venerated family deities in the royal palace for worship. Children who appear in such families, fortunately, generally imitate such worship of the deities, even in the way of childhood play. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, we had the chance of being born in a Vaishnava family. And in our childhood, we imitated the worship of Lord Krishna by imitating our father. Our father encouraged us in all respects to observe all functions such as Rath Yatra and Dola Yatra ceremonies. And he used to spend money liberally for distributing prasada to us children and our friends. Our spiritual master, who also took his birth in a Vaishnava family, got all inspirations from his great Vaishnava father, Thakur Bhakti Vinoda. That is the way of all lucky Vaishnava families. The celebrated Meera Bhai was a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna as the great lifter of Govardhan Hill. Okay. Shall I continue, Mataji? Should I stop here?
We'll give it to Gaurav Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Gaurav Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. The life history of many such devotees is almost the same because there's always symmetry between every lives of all great devotees of the Lord. According to Jiva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit must have heard about the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna at Vrindavana, for he used to imitate the pastime with his young playmates. According to Sridhara Swami, Maharaj Parikshit used to imitate the worship of the family deity by elderly members. Srila Vishwanath Kakravarti also confirmed Chakravarti also confirmed the viewpoint of Jiva Goswami. So, accepting either of them, Maharaja Parikshit was naturally inclined to Lord Krishna from his very childhood. He might have imitated either of the above mentioned activities, and all of them established his great devotion from his very childhood. A symptom of Mahabhagavata, such as Mahabhagavatas, are called Niyata Siddhas. Nitya Siddhas, or soul liberated from birth. But there are also others who may not liberated from birth, but who have developed a tendency for devotional service by association, and they are called sadhana siddhas. There is no difference between the two in the ultimate issue, and so the conclusion is that everyone can become a sadhana siddha, a devotee of the Lord, simply by association with a pure devotee. The concrete example is our great spiritual master, Sri Narad Muni. In his previous life, he was simply a boy of a maidservant, but through association with great devotees, he became a great devotee of the Lord of his own standard, unique in the history of devotional service. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Raju Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation: Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, was also full in transcendental knowledge and was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva. So there must have been discussion of Lord Krishna, who is glorified by great philosophers and in the company of great devotees. Purport: the word Satam is very important in this verse. Satam means the pure devotees who have no other desire than to serve the Lord. Only in the association of such devotees are transcendental glories of Lord Krishna properly discussed. It is said by the Lord that his topics are all full of spiritual significance, and once one properly hears about him in the association of Satam, certainly one senses the great potency and automatically attains the devotional stage of the life. As already described, Maharaja Parikshit was a great devotee of the Lord from his very birth, and so was Sukadeva Goswami. Both of them were on the same level, although it appeared that Maharaja Parikshit was a great king accustomed to royal facilities, whereas Sukadeva Goswami was a typical renouncer of the world, so much so that he did not even put a cloth on his body. Superficially, Maharaja Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami might seem to be opposites, but basically they were both unallied, pure devotees of the Lord. When such devotees are assembled together, there can be no topics save discussions of the glories of the Lord or Bhakti Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita also, when there were talks between the Lord and his devotee Arjuna, there could not be any topic other than Bhakti Yoga. However, the mundane scholars may speculate on it in their own ways. The use of the word cha after Vaya Shaki suggests, according to the Sri Jiva Goswami, the both Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit were the same category, settled long before, although one was playing the part of the master and other the disciple. Since Lord Krishna is the center of the topics, the word Vasudeva Parayana or devotee of Vasudeva suggest devotee of Lord Krishna, the common aim. Although there were many others who assembled at the place where Maharaja Parikshit was fasting, the natural conclusion is that there was no topic other than the glorification of Lord Krishna, because the principal speaker was Sukadeva Goswami and the chief audience was Maharaja Parikshit. So Srimad Bhagavatam, as it was spoken and heard by two principal devotees of the Lord, is only for glorification of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mataji,
Yes,
this
Prabhu.
shloka is very important shloka.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now, what is the conversation which was happening between whom and whom?
Shaunaka.
Suta Goswami and Shaunaka.
Yeah. The sages of Naimisharanya and Suta Goswami. Okay. So the sages of Naimisharanya are seeing these things now. In that. Okay. Shaunaka starts and Suta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya asks him questions again. Okay. So of these things, this is very important. This is what they concluded. All the sages of Naimisharanya, they concluded this point. Please repeat after me. Ayurharati vai pumsam.
Ayurharati vai pumsam.
Udyanastam chayannasau.
Udyanastam chayannasau.
Tasyarte yat kshano nita. Uttama shloka vartaya. Yeah, now you can please go ahead. This verse actually shares.
Yeah, Prabhuji, please continue.
No. This describes about what happens to a normal person and what happens to a devotee. Okay, please go ahead. Time, how will eat one person, and time, how will it be utilized by the other one.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Adinath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So
Dandavat.
translation, both the rising and by setting the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all good personality of the Godhead. Purport by its divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This verse indirectly, should I continue, Madhuri?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This verse indirectly confirms the great importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotion service. Time and tide wait for no man. So the time indicated by sunrise and the sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of the spiritual values. Even a fraction of duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity, but he is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutional, a spiritual path of complete whole, and its happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. The Lord is the complete spirit whole, and his name, form, qualities, pastime, entourage, and personalities are all identical with him. Once a person comes in contact with any one of the above mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of the devotional service, the door of perfection is immediately opened. In Bhagavad Gita 2.40, the Lord has explained such contact in the following words. Endeavor in devotional service are never baffled, nor is the failure. A slight beginning of such activities is sufficient even to deliver a person from great ocean of material fears. As highly potent injected intravenous acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear by the pure devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. Oral realization of transcendental messages implies total realization. Just as fructification of one part of tree implies fructification of all other parts. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like Sukadeva Goswami prepares one's complete life for eternity. And thus the sun falls to the robe the pure devotee of his duration of life, in as much as he is constantly busy in the devotional service of the Lord, purifying the existence. Thus, death is the symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to material infection is the external living entity subjected to the law of birth, death, old age, and disease. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Giriraj Prabhu, Hare Krishna. You want to read?
Give it to somebody. I mean, I think who else not there, Mataji?
Yeah, Chandramauli Prabhu, Hare
Chandra
Krishna.
Prabhu is there. Akenchan Prabhu there.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, let them read.
The
After
material
that,
way of Hare Krishna, the materialistic way of pious activities like charity is recommended in the Smriti Shastras as quoted by Srila Viswanatha Chakravarti Thakura. Money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given in the Brahmana, to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in a charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahmanical qualification, the money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then money is returned double. If the money is given in a charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. And if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has actually realized the path of the Vedas, it is written by unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedecha sarva aham eva veda. There is a guarantee of monies being returned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of pure devotees by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord is a perfect guarantee for eternal life, for returning home back to Godhead. Maddhama gatva punarjanmana vidyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. A devotee's old age or disease in the present life is but an impetus to such guaranteed eternal life. Hare Krishna.
One second, it's taking time to move to the next screen.
So, Lalitmana Prabhuji, I have a question here. So, if a person is Brahmana and he doesn't have any spiritual qualities, also we can donate to him, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can donate. Yes, Prabhu, you can donate.
Suppose if
this is what
I should not say like that. Suppose these days we are seeing some Brahmanas are, drunkards, like that also there. So if they ask us the money, can we give the money to them?
No, Prabhuji, that's not a Brahmana quality, no?
Yeah.
They are Brahma Bandhu, not Brahmana. Okay.
So we should not donate to the Brahmana Bandhu, but we can donate to the Brahmanas, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. That is what cultural economy means. Means when you do that, you are investing in the bank account and you will get it in return. So we are so accustomed to the economic culture, but Bhagavatam teaches us cultural economy. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Related to that, I have one more question. So it's like it's not related to Bhagavad Gita. So being Brahmin, being born in Brahmin family, we have always been taught that until unless you get the Brahman knowledge, you cannot be called a Brahman. So can you just elaborate that, or do we have the similar thing in the Bhagavad Gita? Similar thought process in Bhagavad Gita. It's like my grandfather, everyone had been saying the same thing. Until unless you have Brahma Gyan, you cannot be called a Brahmin. So this is the philosophy we have been taught all our life.
Okay. Wow. So, Prabhuji, the main thing is that what is a Brahma Gyan? That is where the problem comes. Some people think when we read all the 4 Vedas and we completely know about the Vedas, then the Brahma Gyan comes. But here, Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen the examples. Okay, and in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, become my devotee. Okay, that's enough. And in Bhagavatam, there are examples of what happens when you become a devotee.
Okay.
So, which is beyond Gyan or the Brahma Gyan which you were speaking. Right, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhuji. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Prabhu, go ahead.
Yeah, Prabhuji, so just to give you a little bit of background, my grandfather, he was a great Brahmin. So he was, even he has one of the temple in his name. When he died, people just built one temple in his name. So he was one of the prominent Brahmin there, and he always used to say that until unless you get the Brahma Gyan, you won't be called as a Brahmin. So that was a philosophy we had been taught. But
no, are you from?
Yeah.
Are you from UP, Prabhu?
No, I'm not from UP, Prabhuji, but yeah, we follow UP. A little bit we follow UP.
Let me tell you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Because the background in that Gangetic plain, means near the Ganga Kinare, from starting from Rishikesh till this place, it is completely influenced by Shankaracharya Prabhuji.
Okay.
Okay, which is they will be very much into Gyan part of the Vedas. Okay, so we will all get to hear these things in those places more than the other places because of the influence. And that is not wrong, Prabhu. That is not wrong. It's okay. Until unless you are in that path, that's okay. But only discrimination is a bad thing. Okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
But that is not complete statement also. Okay?
Okay.
Only when you get Gyan, then you can become Brahman. No, it's not a complete statement also, Prabhuji.
Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, but in Bhagavad Gita also the definition says no that Brahmin is one who has the Brahmagyan in the sense of self-realization that I am not this body, I am the soul.
Yeah, yes, Mataji,
So,
but
I mean, basically, Gaurav Prabhu's question is, what is the definition of a Brahmin? I mean, one does not become a Brahmin by birth, but only when he gets Brahma Gyan. This is what I understood from his question. When he gets Brahma Gyan, he becomes a Brahmin. And that Brahma Gyan, basically, what is Brahma Gyan? Then again, it depends on that. And according to Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Gyan means knowledge of the self and the self-realization. Is that right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Gaurav Prabhu, I have understood your question correctly, right?
Yes, Mataji. That's what I was trying to understand. What
Yeah,
exactly?
it is there in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, that's what Krishna also says, that nobody is like these the caste system that he says that he only created the caste system, and that's not based on birth. It's based on the aptitude and the qualities that one possesses.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
The one who is aiming for self-realization is the one, and who attains the self-realization. Is that right, Prabhuji? Lalitman Prabhu?
yes, Mataji.
Vani Mataji, can you read?
Yes, Mataji. Shall I read?
Yeah, please read, Mataji. 1 second. Let me just see the length. Yeah, please.
ఎక్కడి నుంచి చదవమంటారు స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచా
Translation.
Translation. Do the trees not live? Do the bellows of the blacksmith not breathe? All around us, do the beasts not eat and discharge semen? The purport. The materialistic man of the modern age will argue that life or part of it is never meant for discussion of theosophical or theological arguments. Life is meant for the maximum duration of existence of for eating, drinking, sexual intercourse, making merry and enjoying life. The modern man wants to live forever by the advancement of medical science. And there are many foolish theories for prolonging life to the maximum duration. But the Srimad Bhagavatam affirms that life is not meant for so-called economic development or advancement of materialistic science. For the hedonic philosophy of eating, mating, drinking, and merrymaking. Life is solely meant for tapasya, for purifying existence, so that one may enter into the eternal life just after the end of the human form of life. The materialists want to prolong life as much as possible because they have no information of the next life. They want to get the maximum comforts in this present life because they think conclusively that there is no life after death. This ignorance about the eternity of the living being and the change of covering in the material world has played havoc in the structure of modern human society. Consequently, there are many problems multiplied by various plans of modernized man. The plans for solving the problems of society have only aggravated the troubles. Even if it is possible to prolong life more than 100 years, advancement of human civilization does not necessarily follow. The Bhagavatam says that certain trees live for hundreds and thousands of years. At Vrindavana, there is a tamarind tree, the place known as Imlitala, which is said to have existed since the time of Lord Krishna. In the Calcutta Botanical Garden, there is a banyan tree said to be older than 500 years, and there are many such trees all over the world. Swami Shankaracharya lived only 32 years, and Lord Chaitanya lived 48 years. Does it mean that the prolonged lives of the above-mentioned trees are more important than Shankara and Chaitanya? Prolonged life without spiritual value is not very important. One may doubt that trees have life because they do not breathe. But modern scientists like Bose have already proved that there is life in plants. So breathing is no sign of actual life. The Bhagavatam says that the bellows of the blacksmith breathes very soundly. But does not mean, but that does not mean that the bellows has life. The materialists will argue that life in the tree and life in the man cannot be compared because the tree cannot enjoy life by eating palatable dishes or by enjoying sexual intercourse. In reply to this, the Bhagavatam asked whether other animals like the dogs and hogs living in the same village with human beings do not eat and enjoy sexual life. The specific utterance of Srimad Bhagavatam in regard to other animals means that persons who are simply engaged in planning a better type of animal life consisting of eating, breathing, and mating are also animals in the shape of human beings. A society of such polished animals cannot benefit suffering humanity, for an animal can easily harm other animals but rarely do good.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Akinchan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can you read
Akinchan Prabhu, Akinchan Prabhu, both these two slokas are very important, 19 and 20. So if you can recite this, it will be good. It will be good. 19 and 20 are very important.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, మీరు రిసైట్ చేయండి, రిపీట్ చేస్తాను నేను.
Okay, okay. स्वविद्वराहोस्त्रखरै संस्तुतः पुरुषः पशुः न यत्कर्णपथोपेतो जातु नाम गदाग्रजः. Please repeat this. जातु नाम गदाग्रजः. This is a very, very heavy verse. Please, it will be like a slap on our faces. Please read the translation on this one, Prabhu.
Yeah. Giriraj Prabhu, ఇది 848 అయింది. This is a very long purport. How do we do it?
Mataji, మీరు ఈరోజు 9:30 వరకు చేయండి. I have some rounds. I will be in the hearing mode. Okay.
అంటే మేము ఇది పర్పట్ చేసిన తర్వాత అప్పుడు శ్లోకాస్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలా?
Yes.
It's a long one.
No problem. Let us read. Very important.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. Akinchan Prabhu, please start.
Okay, translation
and the first two paragraphs. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses praise those men who never listen to the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna, the deliverer from evil. Sorry, but the general.
Please repeat, Prabhuji. Please repeat the translation. Please repeat.
Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses praise those men who never listen to transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, the deliverer from evils. But the general mass of people, unless they are trained systematically for the higher standard of life in spiritual values, are no better than animals. And in these words, they have particularly been put on the level of the dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. Modern university education practically prepares one to acquire a doggish mentality with which to accept the service of a greater master. After finishing so-called education, the so-called educated persons move like dogs from door to door with application for some service, and mostly they are driven away, informed of no vacancy. As dogs are negligible animals and serve the master faithfully for bits of bread, a man serves a master faithfully without sufficient rewards. persons who have no discrimination in the matter of foodstuff and who eat all sorts of rubbish are compared to the hawks. Hawks are very much attached. 1 second, ma'am. Yeah, hawks are very much attached to the eating stool. So stool is kind of foodstuff for particular type of animal, and even stones are eatable for particular types of animals or birds. But the human beings is not meant for eating everything and anything. He is meant to eat grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, sugar, etc. Animal food is not meant for human beings. For chewing solid food, the human beings has particular type of teeth meant for cutting fruits and vegetables. Human beings is endowed with two canine teeth as a concession for persons who will eat animal food at any cost. It is known to everyone that one man's food is another man's poison. Human beings are expected to accept the remnants of the food offered to the Lord Krishna, and the Lord accepts foodstuff from the categories of leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. Bhagavad Gita 9.26. As prescribed by Vedic scriptures, no animal food is offered to the Lord. Therefore, a human being is meant to eat a particular type of food. He should not imitate the animals to derive so-called vitamin values. Therefore, a person who has no discrimination in regard to eating is compared to a hog. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Is there anybody who is left out who is not read till now? Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can I ask one question, Mataji? Is it okay? Time is there?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Lalitman Prabhuji or Giraj Prabhuji, like when I discussing with my friend, he's telling that man can eat anything because he can digest. I mean, so he can. I mean, some of the animals cannot eat non-veg. Some of the animals cannot eat like grass and all because they cannot digest system. So man can digest both. So man can eat both, like that he mentioned, Prabhuji. So I cannot that is not argument, just like normal discussion. Yeah. So what can I answer to him, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Giriraj, can you go ahead?
Prabhupada only
If he's
given the idea, Prabhu. Can you scroll up, Mataji? Particular type of teeth. Can you search? For chewing solid food, the human being has a particular type of teeth meant for cutting fruits and vegetables. If you see, you can say that, the other animals, like if you see tigers or the lions' teeth, two big teeth there, because it has to kill the animal and has to eat. That is that particular animal's food.
Yeah, they have canines. They have canines which we don't have.
Yeah, which we don't
We
have.
have subdued canines.
That one understanding, right? So our teeth basically meant for to eat this Prabhupada so nicely. Eat grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, etc. And Prabhupada point out 9.26, what we have to offer to Krishna. Patram Krishnam Phalam Toyam. So our teeth is meant for to have that kind of, but actually people are, so much materialistic thinking, anything and everything they can eat. But that is not the dharma. That is killing, we are killing, we are not developing a compassionate quality when we eat animals, Animals also having the, just like we have blood, then the goat, animal, goat, fish, sheep, chicken, these are the things, main people, most of the times meat eating means these are the things. When we cut that animal, it has a consciousness, right? It has, compared to plants covered consciousness, this is more. It is crying and getting blood, right? So it's going to see, it is a simple activity that we have to, we are accumulating bad karma when we eat this stuff. So one thing we need to say, our teeth is meant for only eating this thing because we don't have animal-like teeth. That is not given by nature or Krishna. That you understand. You can add some more if you want.
Prabhuji, also I feel that a person who is giving that argument is not in a position to hear your logic at all. Like even if you
No
give some
argument,
logic.
it is not argument.
No,
Like
not argument, but even in point of discussion, he is not looking, I don't think he's looking for your opinion and will change his opinion based on what you tell him. I don't think we should get into that discussion. అని నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది, నాకు తెలీదు if that is an extreme thingy or not.
Like he's a nice person, Mataji, but he can convince, like if you give proper answer, he will convince. He's like logically he will think, Mataji, everything. Like
Because we
logical
can say Prabhupada said this, but they may ask who is Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, you
Then
can
what?
give one more answer to him in this way. Yes, he is correct. But do he have this capacity? That's what you should ask him. Because during the Mahabharata war, there were some heaps and tons of non-veg which has been kept there. Okay? And many of these leftists, they take that verse and they say that people used to eat non-veg even in the Mahabharata war also. Okay? And if you ask the same to a Vaishnava saintly person, what will he say? It's not about the capacity, whether they eat or not. It's capacity, whether they can digest or not. That is important. Okay? So,
but he's telling that we are able to digestion, like
yeah, who is he, Prabhuji? Means he is not one who has studied anatomy properly. If he studies anatomy properly, he would not be here with you. So it's not the half knowledge here and there which he gets. That's what he can conclude. It's not like that. There is a saint, there is a acharya. You know this person, small, what is it? Ganja in our own, the person who invented in North and South India. Vatapi and Ilvala, who killed both of them. You know that small. There is a same Machpena Muni. Okay, there is one Muni who can eat humans alive and he can digest.
Okay.
But can we? No, no.
Yeah, means so, he asked in the same, like in the whether we are digesting, right? So in that perspective, he asked him.
Please actually show him the statistics, Prabhuji, of why these heart diseases and cardiovascular problems are happening to every human. Okay, then he will get the answer whether they really have the digestion capacity or not. Show all these statistics. Then they can go with the, they can listen to you. Just simply by saying, we can digest and we can do. No, we cannot digest. That's the reason why there are many problems. Why there are cancer. Why there is a cancer problem.
Okay.
Generally, these are the, carcinogens. Because of these things, we'll get the cancer and heart strokes and all. Why? Show the statistics to them. No?
Yeah.
Then they will slowly come to this. Yes, if you have a capacity, you can eat, Prabhuji, but do we have it? That's what the question is. We don't really have it, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, I agree to it. I attended one of the session in ISKCON Bangalore, and the session was all about becoming vegetarian. And there also they said the same thing. If you are eating any plant-based food, you can digest in another 6 hours or 4 hours. But if you are eating a cooked food, you may digest in 8 hours or 10 hours. But if you're eating meat, the digestion system goes really long and it will take really long time for you to digest that. And our metabolism is not that great, which can digest these food. And means obviously meat and all those things. So there's a statistics behind it. Obviously, humans are not meant to digest all those food.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
I will continue these 2 paragraphs and 1 paragraph is in the Amiti.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji.
Two important bills. This is super paragraph. Camel example, material enjoyment. I intentionally want to read this for myself. The camel is a kind of animal. Apara Sachmade, please come here and here. Hare Krishna. Bring her. The camel is a kind of animal that takes pleasure in eating thorns. A person who wants to enjoy family life or worldly life, so-called enjoyment is compared to the camel. Materialistic life is full of thorns, and so
Prabhuji, volume is low.
volume is low. Sorry. No, let me come to the front of the. Tell me, I am reading again. The camel is a kind of animal that takes pleasure in eating thorns. A person who wants to, is it okay, na?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
okay,
okay?
Prabhuji, but still it's not high, but we can hear you.
100 only. Why is it okay? A person who wants to enjoy family life or the worldly life of so-called enjoyment is compared to the camel. Materialistic life is full of thorns, and so one should live only by the prescribed method of Vedic regulations just to make the best use of a bad bargain. Life in the material world is maintained by sucking one's own blood. The central point of attraction, very important, the central point of attraction for material enjoyment is sex life. To enjoy sex life is to suck one's own blood. And there is not much more to be explained in this connection. Simple. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is not much more to be explained in this connection. The camel also sucks its own blood while chewing thorny twigs. The thorns the camel eats cut the tongue of the camel, and so blood begins to flow within the camel's mouth. The thorns mixed with fresh blood create a taste for the foolish camel, and so he enjoys the thorn eating business with false pleasure. Similarly, the great business magnates, industrialists who work very hard to earn money by different ways and questionable means eat the thorny results of their actions mixed with their own blood. Therefore, the Bhagavatam has situated these deceased fellows along with the camels. The ass the camel and ass an example is the materialistic way of enjoyment, and that's Prabhupada always quotes these two animals. The ass is an animal who is celebrated as the greatest fool, even among us the animals. The ass works very hard and carries burden of the maximum weight without making profit for itself. The ass is generally engaged by the washerman whose social position is not very respectable. And the special qualification of the ass is that it is very much accustomed to being kicked by the opposite sex. When the ass begs for sexual intercourse, he is kicked by the fair sex. Yet he still follows the female for such sexual pleasure. A henpecked man is compared, therefore, to the ass. The general mass of the people work very hard, especially in the age of Kali. In this age, the human being is actually engaged in the work of an ass, carrying heavy burdens and driving tela and rickshaws. The so-called advancement of human civilization has engaged a human being in the work of an ass. The laborers in great factories and workshops are also engaged in such burdensome work. And after working hard during the day, the poor laborer has to be again kicked by the fair sex, not only for sex enjoyment, but also for so many household affairs. You read this one, last paragraph. Read.
So Srimad Bhagavatam's categorization of the common man without any spiritual enlightenment into the society of dogs, hogs, camels, and asses is not at all an exaggeration. The leaders of such ignorant masses of people may feel very proud of being adored by such a number of dogs and hogs, but that is not very flattering. The Bhagavatam openly declares that although a person may be a great leader of such dogs and hogs disguised as men, if he has no taste for being enlightened in the science of Krishna, such a leader is also an animal and nothing more. He may be designated as a powerful, strong animal or a big animal, but in the estimation of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is never given a place in the category of man on account of his atheistic temperament. Or in other words, such godless leaders of dogs and hog-like men are bigger animals with the qualities of animals in greater proportion.
ఇది మీరు అన్నట్టు లలిత్ ప్రభు స్లాపింగ్ is one of the slap bus.
So now the sages of Naimisharanya are actually preparing us. Okay. So what is about to come? Because the discussion of Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami has not yet happened, right? Okay. It's only the starting questions which we have done till the second and the third chapter. From now on, things will start. So just giving us or waking us up of how we should take the things. That is what the sages of Naimisharanya are preparing us.
Yes.
If someone says, "Na, he's very great man, he earned like this, he was nothing," you know that all these examples of from a very poor man becoming a very rich man and all, just keep all those things aside and then come to Bhagavatam. That's what this shloka tells us to. Okay, even if 1 crore man, 1 crore or 100 crore men praise them, such what is it? What is that stories? There's a phrase for it: rag to riches. All these rags to riches and all these things, now just keep them aside and then come for Bhagavad. Okay, that is not no good thing other than what are the animals which are usually compared to dogs, hogs, camels, and asses, right? So they all belong. They all belongs to that category. But we should keep all those examples aside and then come for Bhagavatam. Please, now the sages and Sutta Goswami, their conversation is actually preparing us to listen the Paramahamsa Samhita. Okay, please. And the next one also. Next shloka is also very important. Okay.
We'll do on Monday anyway. So
yes,
one
yes.
more thing. Prabhupada, I mean, see, whoever, they put themselves in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and not worry about the self-realization, is called Vipada Pashu, two-legged animal. Prabhupada writes in his purpose. So, Vipada Pashu, not four-legged animals. We are saying, dog, hog, ass, camel, four-legged animal. No, Vipada Pashu. Human being is a Vipada Pashu when he's not worried about self-realization. Always in the engrossed in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's no. So that's the thing. Yes, Mataji. We can stop and we'll continue next verse. You can post in the group, Mataji. What is that verse we have to read from next week, Monday? We can go to Slokas. This is the last Friday for us Bhakti Vaibhava Sloka test Slokas. I have a plan next week. There are this Bhakti Vaibhava Sloka 1 test also we have done. Let us learn those prayers also. Let us learn those.
Yes, Prabhuji. We will do that, and after that we start from the Bhakti Shastri shlokas.
Yes.
High time we should revise them.
Yeah, next week and later next week, 2 weeks, let us spend CBA1 slokas, okay? That also let us learn with all the group. So that for our revision, for them it's new. I mean, they get to know some new verses. Okay?
Prabhuji, CB1 శ్లోకాస్ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జామ్ ఏదైతే అయిపోయిందో మీరు రాసేసారో దాని శ్లోకాస్ మీరు చెప్పేది
దాని శ్లోకాస్ అవును
చేద్దాం ప్రభుజీ బికాజ్ నేను ఎలాగో దాని ఎగ్జామ్ కోసం
అది చేద్దాం. Okay, now we will spend some time. I am also here. I mean, I wanted to practice. Can I do once? Can I
yes,
do?
Prabhuji.
Can I start?
Yeah.
I want to do. Uddhama bhava pishunama laval guhasa व्रीढावलोक निहतो मदनोऽपियासाम् सम्मुह्य चापमजहत् प्रमदोत्तमस्ता यस्येन्द्रियं विमतितुं कुहकैर्नसेकु. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhaktiruchati. Rishikesha and Rishikena. Yes, Mother. Thank you. And this one. Bhavadvidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani Swantaste Nagada Bhuta. My Lord, devotees like your good self are very holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Yeah, scroll down. Yeah. Tulaya malavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim utasi saha. The value of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter, and what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. Tiraskrita vipralabdha shapta kshipta hatahavi nasya tat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavopihi. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, go verse number, yes, the devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Punascha bhuyam bhagavatyanante rate prasangascha tadashrayeshu mahaschu yam upayami srishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. Again, I offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas. I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, you all continue. Thank you so much.
Vani Mataji chestara.
Yes, Mataji, chestanu. First shloka. Uddhama bhava pisuna malaval duhasa Vridavalokannihato madano piyasa Sammuya chapamajahat pramadottamasta Yashendriyam vimatitum tuhakairna shekuhu. Translation. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. Bhavadvida bhagavatas तीर्थभूता स्वयं विभो कीर्ति कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वातस्तेन गदावृदा. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all the places into places of pilgrimage. तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गि सङ्गस्य मर्त्यानां किं उताशिषः. Translation. The value of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter, and what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. Tiraskrita vipralabdha shapta kshipta hatapi nasya tat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavopihi. Translation. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante rati prasangascha tadashreshu mahatsu yam upayami shrishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. Translation. Again, offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in this material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
మీరుద్దరు మాదే మీరు మనం భక్తి వైభవ ఎగ్జామ్ పార్టిసిపెంట్. సో మీరు అండ్ రాజప్రభు చేసిన తర్వాత అదొకటి తీసుకుంటాం.
రాజప్రభుజీ ఉన్నారా?
విత్ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఆల్సో.
రాజప్రభుజీ ఉన్నారా? హరే కృష్ణ.
లేరు. I think he left.
మీరు చేయండి
Hare Krishna,
మాతాజీ.
Mataji. Mataji is having breakfast.
No problem, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.11.36. Uddama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa व्रीडावलोकनिहतो मदनोऽपि सम्मुख्य चापमजहात् प्रमदोत्तमास्ता यस्येन्द्रियं विमथितुं कुहकैर्न शेकुः. Translation. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13.10. भवद्विधा भागवतास् तीर्थभूता स्वयं विभो तीर्थीकुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्थेन गदाभृता. Translation. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.13. तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गिसङ्गस्य मर्त्यानां किमुताशिषः. Translation. The value of a moment's association with the devotees of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter, and what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.48. तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा शप्ता क्षिप्ता हतापि नास्य तत्प्रतिकुर्वन्ति तद्भक्ता प्रभवोऽपि हि. Translation. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.19.16. पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गाश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम्यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः. Translation. Again offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in this material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. Hare Krishna. Next, who will do? Can do only the shlokas.
I can do, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Uttama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa व्रीडावलोकनिहतो मदनोऽपि यासां सम्मोह्य चापमजहात् प्रमदोत्तमास्ता यस्येन्द्रियं विमथितुं कुहकैर्न शेकु. भवद्विधा भगवतास्तीर्थभूता स्वयं विभु तीर्थीकुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्तेन गदाभृता.
ప్రభుజీ సపన్ ప్రభు మాతాజీ పని తీసుకోవాలి. భగవత కాదు భాగవత. ఓకే, పైన ఏ పైన భగవద్గీత భాగవతాస్. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
तुल्यामलावनापि
तुलयामलवेनापि प्रभु.
तुल्यामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पूर्वं भागवत्सङ्गिसङ्गस्य मर्त्यानां किम् उताशिषा. तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा सप्तक्षिप्ता हता अपि नास्य तत्प्रतिकुर्वन्ति तद्भक्ता प्रभवोऽपि हि. पुण्याश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गाश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम्यामुपयामि श्रेष्ठिं मैत्र्यास्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Prabhuji. Next, who wants to go?
I will try,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Sachin, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Mataji. Yeah, it is very difficult for me. I have not attended, but I'll try. Uddhama bhava pisanamalavalguhasya viddhavalokanihato madono pihasam sammohachapam ajhata pramodatamastha yasya indriyam vimatu vimatitutam kuhakerna seku. Sorry.
Lalman Prabhu, do you want to guide or should I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Akinjay Prabhu, you can repeat after me line by line, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Uddama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa.
Uddhama bhava pisuna malavalguhasya.
Hasa. Okay, Prabhuji. Vrida valokanihato madano piyasam.
Vrida valokanihato madano piyasam.
Sammukhya chapamajahat.
Sammukya chapamajat pramadopamas.
Pramadota, దాన్ని బ్రేక్ చేద్దాం because it's big కాబట్టి సమ్ముఖ్య చాపమజహాత్
Sammukya chapamajat
అజహాత్ ప్రమదోత్తమాస్తా ప్రమద్ ఓత్తమాస్తా. Okay, Prabhuji, you can break it.
Yeah. Pramad uttamosyas.
Uttamasta. Yasyendriyam vimathitum kuhatvairnasheku.
Yasyendriyam vimathitum kanhernaseku.
Kuhakair. Yes.
Kuhakernaseku.
Bhavatvidha bhagavatas.
I'll try to do this.
Yeah.
Bhavadvidha bhagavatas tirthabhuta swayam vibhu tirti kurvanti tirthani swantastena kadabritha tulyamalevanaapi na swargam na purnabhavam bhagvat sangi sangasya martyanam kim utasisa.
This we can do together, Prabhuji. Tulayamalavenapi. Tulayamalavenapi.
Tulayamalevanaapi
Nasvargam na punarbhavam.
Nasvargam na punarbhavam.
Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kimutashishaha.
Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kim Utasisa.
Please do, Prabhu.
Tirakshita vipralabdha sapta kshipta hatapi. Sorry, I missed the tune.
Tiraskrita vipralabdha.
Tirakshita vipralabdha sapta
Kshipta hatapi.
hatapi nasyata pratikurvanti tadbhakta prabhopihi. Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anant. No, yeah.
Punascha bhuyad bhagavatyanante.
Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anante.
Rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu.
Ratis prasangascha tad ashrayeshu.
महत्सुयाम्यामुपयामि सृष्टिम्
मयस्तु याम्याम् उपयामि सृष्टिम्
मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः.
मैत्रस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Samyukta Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for waiting, Mataji.
No problem. Only Slokas, Mataji?
Only Slokas.
Yes, Mataji. Uddhama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa व्रीढावलोकनिहतो मदनोऽपि सम्मूह्य चापमजहात् प्रमदोत्तमास्ता यस्येन्द्रियं विमतितुं कुहकैर्न शेको भवद्विधा भागवतास्तीर्थभूता स्वयं विभो तीर्थीकुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्तेन गदाभृता तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गिसङ्गस्य मर्त्यानां किमुताशिषः तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा सप्ता क्षिप्ता हतापि नास्य तत्प्रतिकुर्वन्ति तद्भक्ता प्रभवोऽपि हि पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रति प्रसंगाश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम्यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Ramreddy Prabhu wants to do, huh?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. Uddhama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa Vridavalokanihato madano piyasam Sammuhya chapamajahat pramadottamasta Yasindriyam vimatitum kuhakairna sheko. Bhavadvida bhagavatas tirthabhuta swayam vibho Tirtikurvanti tirtani swantastena ghadabrita. Tulayamalavinapi na swargam na punarbhavam Bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim utashishaha. Tiraskrita vipralabdha shapta kshipta hata api Nasya tat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavopihi. Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu. Sorry. Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu. Mahatsuyamyamupayami shrishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhyaha. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sandhya Mataji, do you want to do?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please do, Mataji. Sorry.
Before that. No. Lavanya, are you there? Hare Krishna.
Lavanya Mataji is on hearing mode, Prabhu.
Okay. I'll ask her because next week onwards we are gonna touch. We're not gonna touch these slokas. I am asking her to recite also. So I'll let her also join and do that.
Prabhuji, I have a quick question before I drop. My friend, he's a non-ISKCON devotee and he wants his son to enroll in ISKCON or any Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam classes. He's 14 years old, so please message me if you have any knowledge of any classes, online or in person in Hyderabad.
Yes, I'll share too. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Uddhama bhava pishuna malaval guhasa vridhavalokanihато madano piyasam sammohya chapamajahat pramadottamasta yasyendriyam vimatitum kuhakaina shekuhu. भवद्विधा भागवतास् तीर्थभूतः स्वयं विभो तीर्थिकुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तहस्तेन गदाभृता तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवम् भगवत्सङ्गसङ्गस्य मर्त्यानां किमुताशिषा तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा शब्दा क्षिप्ता हता अपि नास्य तत् प्रतिकुर्वन्ति तद्भक्ता प्रभवोऽपिः पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम्यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्रस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः.
Thank you, Mataji. Srisha Mataji, are you there to read? Hare Krishna. Srisha Mataji, do you want to do? Lavanya Mataji, do you want to do? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just a second. I'll open.
Okay, అయితే Srisha Matajiతో finish చేపిచేస్తాను. She's been patiently waiting for a long time.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, please.
Thank you, Srisha Mataji,
After that, I'll...
for
yes,
waiting
Mataji.
for so long. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Uttama bhava pishuna malaval guhasa Sridhavalokanihato madanopi yasam Sammohya chapamajahat pramadottamasta Yasyendriyam vimatitum kuhakairna sheku. Bhavatvidha bhagavatas tirthabhuta swayam vibho tirti kurvanti tirtani swantastena gadabrita. तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गसङ्गस्य मर्त्यानां किम् उत शिषा तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा शब्दा क्षिप्ता हता अपि नास्य तत् प्रतिकुर्वन्ति तद्भक्ता प्रभवोऽपिः पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गश्च तदाश्रयेषु महस्सु न याम्यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्रस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Lavanya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Dandavatam. Uttama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa व्रीडावलोकनिहतो मदनो पियासा सम्मोह्य चापमजहात् प्रमदोत्तमस्ता यस्येन्द्रियं विमतितुं कुहकैर्न शेको भवद्विदा भागवता तीर्थभूता स्वयं विभु तीर्थि कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्तेन गदावृता तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवम् भगवत्सङ्गसङ्गस्य मत्यानां किमुताशिषः तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा शक्ता क्षिप्ता हता अपि नास्य तत्प्रतिकुर्वन्ति तद्भक्ता प्रभवोऽपिः पुनस्य भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रति प्रसंगा च तदाश्रयेषु महस्याम्यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्रस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Andhra అయిపోయినట్టే ప్రభుజీ. Should we wind up the call? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. అందరూ అయిపోయింది.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय. दंडवत प्रणाम. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you so much, Deepa Mataji, for managing the call. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. See you all on Monday. Have a happy Krishna conscious weekend. Pranam.